explain the meaning, the hidden meaning, if you like, but the real reason behind what I chose to write in the article that just came out in the Sunday Times yesterday. I'm very excited about it. It's my first one. Hopefully there'll be more, don't know. But I've got it up on screen here, and I'm going to go through it with you because it's really important that you understand that everything that I'm doing with my Moving Home with Charlie consumer-facing YouTube channel is actually designed to make more deals happen by helping sellers and buyers understand the process better from an impartial point of view. And it's working. I actually did a survey of my YouTube followers recently to say, has my content made you more likely to move or less likely to move? And it was more likely to move was the winning result of that survey. So I'd like to start by pointing out that I did not write that headline. That was not written by me. That was written by the Times themselves. I had no input on the headline. The rest of the article, I own every word of it. And I want to just talk you through it and get you to understand the psychology, perhaps a slightly reverse psychology, okay? Because what I'm doing in this article is that I am addressing the people who are making these mistakes without them knowing I'm addressing them, okay? And the idea is to make them think when they read this, well, I don't want to be one of those people. So I'm going to drop my price, for example. So let's get into it straight away because the very first line, okay, this will be the year of remorseful home sellers chasing the market price down as it falls, wishing they had taken a smaller price hit sooner. Now, if you're a home seller refusing to drop your price and being unrealistic about your price, and you read that, what's it going to make you think? You might just think, I'm an idiot, and ignore it and stick there with a high price. But you might also think, oh God, I don't want to be that I don't want to be that person. Maybe I should rethink about dropping my price. So the intention of this opening paragraph is to get sellers to be more open to talking to their agent about lowering their price. How can that be a bad thing? How can that be a bad thing? Okay. I want to open every paragraph in it, right? So I then talk about mortgage lending that is stabilizing. There are far fewer products. Yes, the rates are coming down. That's great news. But the rest of the article is talking about how, through no fault of anybody's, just through market forces, a lot of the factors that affect the chances of moving home, you could group them all under the term uncertainty, are actually going to be more uncertain this year, okay? There is less mortgage lending. The mortgage lenders are a bit jittery. The conveyancing industry is going through problems. We all know that. And that major firm whose name escapes, I can't remember now, of conveyancers is going bust. And that's not going to have a positive effect on transactions in the short term, is it? So there are challenges in mortgage lending, I know, because the mortgage brokers I'm working with, they're telling me what it's like for them. There are challenges in conveyancing. And of course, there are challenges for estate agency too. And my figure here of agents having to navigate a 25% drop in transactions is conservative, according to some of the agents who've responded to this article, who think it's going to be more than that. I had one agent say to me that back in 2009, he saw transaction volumes dropping by more than double that. But the idea here is not to put anybody off moving. It's to manage your expectations and say, if you do want to move this year, whether you're buying or selling or both, understand that there are things going on in the industry you may not know about that are going to make it even harder, which leads into the importance of choosing a really good estate agent. This is all underlining my point about choosing a really good estate agent, okay? And all of this worsens the gauntlet of mover uncertainty as if it wasn't bad enough already, right? That's just a true statement. There's nothing here that isn't true. And the as yet unnamed global crisis of inflation strikes, war, blah, blah, etc. This is all true. These are affecting people's finances, economic uncertainty, and the recession. And this is the backdrop facing movers in 2023. And none of this is sensationalist. This is all just talking about everything that everyone knows. I'm not making any predictions here. Then I talk about the time lag in the ONS data reporting and how in a changing market, that makes it very unhelpful. But if you want to know what's happening now, because those figures are 20 months ago, and that there is no data that tells you what's happening right now, that's all true. And again, helpful if you're a mover to understand that. Agents understand that, but movers don't. And I make the point here, when a market has turned, as it has now, and prices are falling, a slightly overpriced property will soon become a very overpriced property, as unwitting sellers wait in vain for their asking price buyer to show up. And again, that's aimed at the sellers who are sitting there not yet coming to terms with the fact that the market has changed. It's going to help. How can that do anything other than help sellers become more realistic? So there's reduced budgets, that's a fact, mathematical fact. They're being lent more. They're being lent less their budget because of the rise in interest rates. The Mexican standoff between sellers and buyers, I've had lots of agents confirming that's true. However, this can be overcome with some good negotiating, right? So this is just like confronting the brutal reality. It's like accepting what the current climate is for movers and saying, don't be unrealistic and just go, hey, everything's fine, everything's be okay. Because it isn't. But if you want to move, and I want to help people move, and I want to help agents get those deals done, it's better to confront the reality. Okay. So far, there's nothing I've written here that is anything other than stating facts. If any of you watch this video disagree, tell me which part you disagree with. Don't just say, oh, it's just a negative. It isn't. First-time sellers looking to upsize, while insulated from falling prices, are facing increased uncertainty from industry turmoil. Adjust the new market reality. That's a fact, guys. And again, I say these movers may not even care about the financial side. I'm talking about they're not moving for money. They're moving because they need to move. They want to move. They want to move home. They don't care about house prices, right? But if they're selling and buying at the same time, they've got increased levels of uncertainty because of the conveyancers and the other people in the deal who may pull out, right? And because of the global uncertainty and economic uncertainty, everyone's less sure about their decisions, and therefore there is a higher price of people pulling out of deals. That is, again, a fact. And it leads into more advice I'm going to be giving about, as a buyer, if you want to buy a seller's property and you're worried that that seller is going to dilly-dally about finding a new home, what can you do about that? I'm going to be talking about that soon, all to try to help deals go through more smoothly. Many downsizers are being unrealistic about the selling price, right? Waiting for the right buyer to come along while the market drops away like a skydiver, right? It's happening. And if you're one of those sellers and you read that, it might make you think about it. Then they panic and drop the price, but not soon enough or far enough, and are forced to repeat the process all over again. And again, that sentence is designed to make people think, if I'm going to sell my price, I don't want to make that second mistake. I want to drop the price hard. And I've already had feedback today on Instagram from someone who's saying a seller in that position has just done that. They've rung their agent, dropped the price a long way, actually, dropped the price 12% or something, and they're going to get offers now. It's going to be a great year for savvy cash buyers. It is, right? When I talk about the UK economy and how it's linked to the housing market, that's all facts. You can go and look it up. And so this last paragraph is the only paragraph where you might say, well, this is the paragraph, Charlie, where you're putting people off moving. And what I'm saying is, unless moving a high-ranking life priority, it's a gauntlet that might be worth waiting for until 2024. Okay? So that's not going to change anybody's mind. And if anything, it's going to stop the tire kickers. People are just thinking about moving and going, well, okay, if it's that hard, I don't want to move this year. Well, they're the ones that probably are going to be time wasters anyway, right? But if you need and want to move and you read that, you're going to think, well, okay, I better make sure I've got my ducks in a row, haven't I? Choose your agent wisely. Who objects to me saying that? And never sign a sole agency contract. Okay, I know some of you object to me saying that, but I'm happy to have that discussion with any of you. Okay, John Durrant, that very highly regarded and veteran agent, thinks that long sole agency contracts should be banned. Because I'm sorry, I don't care what the commercial reasons are. If you're a seller and you sign a long-term contract with a crap agent that's not selling your house and you're stuck with them in a falling market, that is a situation you don't want to be in. If a customer wants to leave you, they should be able to leave you, right? They just should. If you were that customer, you'd want to leave. And then I make a warning to people who with very large loan-to-value mortgages to not overpay. I'll stand by that advice all day long. Roll on 2024. It will be a better year for moving home, whatever the economy is doing. Okay? So whatever you think of the words there, the intended effect on movers, which agents may or may not get, is to actually make you think hard. Do I need to drop my price if I'm serious about moving? Or actually, am I not that committed to move? Either way, it's going to help people crystallize their thinking about what they're doing. And it's going to help more deals happen with more sellers agreeing to drop their prices, buyers getting their ducks in a row properly, and deals being that little bit easier for you agents to tie up. All right. So if you disagree with any of that, tell me which part you disagree with and why. Because although the headline I totally accept, is not what agents want to hear. It's just a clickbait headline that they use to make people read the article, right? And if they read the article, it's going to be good. So, anything else to say on that? I don't think so. Thank you to those of you who've sent me supportive comments. Some of you have said you agree with some of it, but not all of it, but you haven't said which part. I'm always happy to talk about it. I'm in a hotel room in Grantham. It's Sunday night, and I'm here because I'm seeing Chris Watkin tomorrow morning on the Watkin sofa and Monday morning. So have a great week. And please, guys, trust me in when I say no one is going to be more supportive to the consumer about the importance of what agents do and the importance of choosing an outstandingly good agent if you're selling in a falling market than me. I am your biggest supporter and biggest fan. And yes, I will call out poor conduct and policy when I see it, because the industry doesn't have a good reputation. It needs to be better. You need to have higher fees. I'm going to make that happen. You may or may not agree with my methods, but you tell me what you do instead. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.